Hello and welcome to another update video about INJ. Well, second attempt. I just recorded an INJ video and have to do it again because it didn't record. It's just super annoying. Pressed the button, but when I finished it was showing 0. Oh dear. Anyway, so I made some changes to the chart. I explained them all in the video, so I have to do it again, but I won't show the movements again. So I've changed basically one thing. In the previous video and analysis videos, I had the wave 2 sit here as a truncation, but I now think it either ended here in June or basically we haven't finished the bear market yet. But for now, as long as we're holding support, we can go with that we finished it here. Is it reliable? Not yet, because the move up is likely going to be a diagonal, yeah? So we're going to talk about that. But at the moment, my count is that we had a 5-wave move up of the 2020 lows here to that high in, what was it, in April 21. We then came down in an A wave, moving up in a B wave, and we came down in a C wave. Now, I did count that differently before. I've changed a few things. I'm now looking at this C wave like this, where we came down in a 1, moved up in a 2, down in a 3, here a 4. We avoid an overlap with wave 1 because the end of the wave 4 is the triangle end, and you don't have an overlap, and then the wave 5 down. So it's actually a nice impulse. Wave 3 is a bit short, but that's okay. It's not shorter than 5, so it's all good. And that gives us a clean count of that 1-2 setup. Yeah, and we're now looking at this upside here. Problem I had before, but it now makes sense. Problem I had before is that this move up was only 3 waves, and still is, yeah. The move up into November 22. So as a 3-wave move, there's only two options. Either it's bearish, so it's an A, B, C, or in this case, I've labeled it as WXY here in blue. So WXY, and it's a 3-wave move, yeah. And basically, this could now break down, especially if we break below the last swing low, which was made here at around 570 or 560, because then we have then we get 5 waves down. At the moment we have 3 waves down, so that's why I go with a bullish count: 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5. 3 waves up in wave 1, 3 waves down in wave 2, 3 waves up in wave 3, based on this. Basically, in the previous video, I still had the wave 3 sit here because I waited. I wanted to see 5 waves, but as the wave 1 has only 3, the wave 3 also needs to have 3 waves. So then it is a cleaner count, but it still is a diagonal, which is less reliable. Then a wave 4 down, and ideally we're now pushing higher in a wave 5. Now in this wave 5, we have also an ABC structure. So looking at the subwaves, we have a possible wave 1 complete here as a leading diagonal, a wave 2 down, a wave 3 has nearly reached the 1.618 extension. That would be a target for that third wave. Ideally, it gets there, at least there, to 743. Then it gives us a more reliable count, because you can count 5 waves in here. It's just not typical third wave behavior, but bear in mind we're on a small time frame now. So within this third wave, you can count a 1, you can count a 2, you can count in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that all makes sense for now. The real decision will come after this third wave is done in yellow, because then we could get a wave 4 down, but it needs to hold a certain support level. So what support does it need to hold to give us that 5th wave up? Because without that, this is just, again, another A, B, C. Yeah, A wave, leading diagonal, B wave down, C wave, ending diagonal probably, or impulse. Measured, yeah, it needs to hold 659. If it doesn't make a 5th wave and comes down below 659, this is probably going to fail, yeah. Because then we can get 5 waves and we might have that A wave, then we come down in B and make that C wave to the upside. What's a possible target here to the upside? Well, if it's an ending diagonal, if this yellow count is a leading diagonal, Fibonacci extensions don't really help that much. I would look more possibly at this trend line, channel, previous highs. For example, we've got here the $10 level. There's certainly going to be some resistance there, but in the fifth wave, we should push higher. So one possible way of calculating a target is we could take the length of waves 1 through 3, and then we compare that with the length of the fifth wave, and we're looking for the 61.8 extension, and that would take us to roughly $11. But ideally, we push a little higher, I think, in this diagonal. But yeah, it's possibly a diagonal. It has turned into something unreliable, because a diagonal is always unreliable, because it could easily be a WXY. So it's not an impulse, and therefore potentially dangerous. Just be aware of that. However, if we get 5 waves up, then we can say with greater clarity that we have bottomed. It would need to break above $10. I'm still skeptical, but it's certainly a count we can track and valid and likely, as long as we're holding that wave 4 low, which was at $5.60. Okay, that's my update about INJ. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.